Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sideline.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
Boston playing for the home crowd again tonight. The Heat beat them last time when these two teams met down in South Florida. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat. But he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous. And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Martinez against Bosch. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Boy, he wanted everybody in the building to know who threw that one down.
Hanging on the rim is, I guess, one way to do it.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, you want to make sure you don't get teed up from a situation like that.
And Freak throws it down.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
And so it's Boston with it. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
And really, the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
The Heat trail by 4. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach Eric Spoelstra. After taking the first matchup with them, he wants his team to be even more assertive on the offensive end. He told me, I feel we can have our way on offense. Get them into matchups that they don't like and find points that way. It's what helped in our first meeting. Let's see if they can do it again here, guys.
Okay, Doris, thanks. So they'll be focusing first and foremost on their offense today, guys.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm sure they're not going to ignore their duties at the defensive end, but getting their offense rolling has to be a main concern.
And I think that's exactly the focus. I mean, if they operate as efficiently as they're capable of, defense really won't be as much of an issue because they'll have so many points on the board.
Johnson the screen. Richardson for 3, and that one's good. Richardson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Celtics leading by 4. 27 seconds left here in the first quarter. And Freak throws it down.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throw down.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Now Johnson. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Stoudemire with the bucket.
Great pass by Bosch there.
There's 14 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Thomas kicks to Freak. Can't get it to go. Stoudemire with the defensive effort. Johnson. Oh, we've seen. And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become an NBA player, the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy. So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Martinez, he's checked in for Jared Sullinger. Kelly Olynyk comes in for Johnson. Marcus Smart's checked in for Avery Bradley. And Thomas subbed in for Turner. And a new group getting ready for Miami. Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside. Wash comes in for Winslow. Richardson, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Johnson in for Goran Dragic. Martinez in at center. Isaiah Thomas out there with Smart. Then it's Kelly Olynyk, and it's Crowder in at the 3. That's the Boston 5. 6 on the shot clock. Steps back and fires. And off the front iron, and in it goes. That's now 8 points for Freak.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
Here's Bosch. Miami no good on that time either.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Thomas, it's a wide open look. Nails the 16-footer. And now a 12-point Celtic lead.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Richardson the pass to Johnson. Bosch the screen. Johnson kicks to Bosch. To the middle. Lets it go from 11. Stoudemire no good. Celtics leading by 12. Thomas with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. Thomas goes in. Here's Martinez. Miami grabs the miss. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Yeah, they just really struggled to put points on the board throughout that game. You could just see they were pressing. Just couldn't get anything to go on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and guys, once they got spiraling downward, there seemed to be no way to get out of it. All their offense went to pot.
Crowder kicks to Freak. The 10-footer. No good.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
Been a stellar out.
And a new group in for the Celtics. Martinez, he's checked in for Sullinger. Kelly Olynyk comes in for Johnson. Turner's checked in for Crowder. And Smart subbed in for Avery Bradley. The Heat also changing it up. Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Winslow comes in for Luol Deng. And it's Tyler Johnson in for Goran Dragic. On the floor for Miami, Chris Bosh is out there with Stoudemire. Then it's Winslow. Then it's Johnson. And it's Wade in at 2 guard. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Bucks played just phenomenally. He picked up 12 points, and he was just about on target from everywhere, hitting from deep as well as sinking his free throws. He was just too much to handle as he came off the bench to turn in a great outing, guys. They hope it continues.
All right, thanks so much, Doris. What a great report, and what a jaw-dropping performance that was, guys.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, he's given himself a hard act to follow here tonight.
You know what? But as good as he was, it's hard to think there won't be at least some sort of carryover effect, guys. I mean, he still has to be riding pretty high.
Winslow with it. He's got 6. Stoudemire goes in. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play. That one on Turner.
You know, he's not your typical NBA center in terms of height, guys, but he plays as big as any of them, thanks to his incredible bounceability.
Richardson, he's checked in for the Heat. And, of course, Chris Bosh has been such a prolific scorer and rebounder in his career. He's not quite in the 2010 category for his career. But, boy, Greg, he's close.
Yeah, I mean, good athleticism, that big wingspan, and not an overly physical player, but very instinctive on the backboard. And when it comes to scoring, particularly from that mid-range area, he can do it all.
And Thomas, here we go. That's good. Thomas got 6 points in the quarter.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
Johnson dishes to Bosh. Johnson the screen. For 3, Richardson. That's good. Richardson's got 6.
On the topic of Chris Bosh, I mean, guys, he was a 24-11 player his last season with Toronto. Went on to Miami to win rings where his stats dipped a bit with LeBron there. Then last season, the scoring average right back up to 21 a game. You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Now here's Winslow. Turner covering. The Heat need to get a shot off. Here's Stoudemire. The baseline J off the mark. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific... All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Martinez is checked in for Boston. The Heat also changing it up. Amare Stoudemire is checked in for Bosch. Winslow comes in for Luol Deng. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Goran Dragic. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jay Crowder out there with Johnson. And it's Martinez in at the 5. That's the Boston 5.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
They can take their time on this possession.
You know, guys, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, it gives themselves a little break, too.
Catch their breath. You're right.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Celtics.
Better shooting from the charity stripe was what made the difference, I think, Clark, in this one.
And I think it was a matter of concentration, Kevin. They really locked in from the line.
And so now, on the year, they'll have 35 wins to their credit.
And making up for the loss in the first matchup between these two teams, they gave it all they had to even this 3-game season series at 1-1 against the Heat.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Isaiah Thomas. He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Tyler Zeller's checked in for Johnson. Urebko comes in for Jay Crowder. Marcus Smart's checked in for Bradley. And it's Rozier in for Isaiah Thomas.
Not sure there's anything they can do to salvage this one.
Not anymore. I mean, any chance they had got away from them, slipped right out of their hands. That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Clark, they're in good position here to ride it out.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, if they just play smart right here, Kevin, this game's pretty much over.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Goes up, and the dunk by Winslow.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg. You know, sometimes you don't like to see guys pull up from three-point range on the break, but for him, with nobody on him, that's a pretty good shot.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille. Isaiah Thomas, just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor. How'd you feel about his performance, Kenny? And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the
Yo, Freak, what's up, baby? What's up? What's up? We see you.
Yo, what up? Basquiat, let's go. Got that art for y'all, that real spit. They call me Basquiat. The Harlem take my pockets full of fat knots, making all the ladies drop. Paint me street corners green, my bank notes the color bill scene. Half man, half amazing. Call me Simi out the demigod. Halo crown with the dollar sign, got a poet. A ghetto saints with grand designs, call me focus. Before the Basquiat, the streets is hopeless. I'm that Harlem Saint painting pictures, making new kind of skill, banking up to 12 figures. They call me Basquiat, pockets full of fat knots, dust till dawn. Your boy makes the street pop, got it on lock. My body don't stop, make it hot. Love it when the bunnies bounce when they on top. Basquiat, I got 107 C's, making waves till the world knows me. Basquiat, my pocket go deep. I dive in the heights, get up and then creep. I'm on my hustle and grind, I'm all about my money. No time for playing games when the game ain't funny.
Okay, yo, he's nice. What's his name?
He goes by the name Basquiat, yo. Basquiat puts game down on them bars, yo. I'm telling you. Hey, we record a nice mixtape. Hey, do a nice video. Get some honeys up in there dancing. Hey, we could build a franchise around this, yo. Hey, I want us to do a deal, freak.
I mean, what you mean by us, Vic?
I mean us, as in you and me and you. Putting some serious Skrilla behind this and... Put me on, man. I'm Basquiat.
What?
You heard me? I'm Basquiat. That's me.
That's you?
Yeah, 100.
Okay, you nice with it. What? Yeah.
I won't.
before. Till I'm at, never knew pain till I met the game. Never had a real team.
Tough matchup tonight. We could very well end up facing these guys in the postseason. So it's important to learn what we can and show them we're not about to back down. If we get it done here, it'll give us that much more confidence if we see them again. The stakes are raising every day at this point, so I better man up.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines. Earlier this season, it was Toronto who came out on top in the last matchup against the Boston Celtics. Biombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Luis Scola. Powell, he's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Kyle Lowry. And a new group in for the Celtics. Martinez, he's checked in for Jared Sullinger. Olynyk comes in for Johnson. Evan Turner, he's checked in for Bradley. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Thomas. On the floor for Boston, Martinez in at center. Smart is out there with Turner. Then it's Kelly Olynyk, and it's Crowder in at the 3. Kicks to Biombo. Another shot. He takes it up and lays it in. Biombo's got 5 points so far.
Well, you can't give him that kind of a position in the post.
Oh, without question. I mean, when he gets it in that tight and that close, that's easy. Real easy.
And it's Freak missing.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out.
Now here's Smart. He's tightly guarded. Turner dishes to Freak. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him.
You have to be disciplined on defense, Kevin. Biting on every pump fake isn't going to get it done.
There's 47 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Now here's Joseph. Defense right on him. Inside, Biombo dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
And guys, that's one of the more basic plays in anybody's playbook, but not to mention also truly one of the best.
And Greg, the pick frees him up, and Clark, the dunk, caps it off.
Well, you know, for me, guys, it's all about positioning and anticipation on those screen plays, and they got it right there.
Now, Ross. Right now, he's averaging 11 points a game. And there's the pass to Joseph. And another basket for Toronto. Offense, the order of the day. And a chance to hear from point guard Kyle Lowry about the chemistry of this Raptors team. They're all pulling in the same direction. The question is whether or not that team unity, as rare as it is making a difference for the Raptors. Does it make Kyle Lowry any better? Do they just give it more time?
You know, you could argue it both ways, Kevin, because it's worked both ways. I mean, teams that couldn't stand one another have won rings.
Toronto will go for a different look here. Biombo is checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Luis Scola. Terrence Ross is checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Powell in for Joseph. And then for Boston, Martinez is checked in for Jared Sullinger. Olynyk comes in for Amir Johnson. And it's Crowder in for Turner. On the court for the Celtics, Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jay Crowder out there with Olynyk, and it's Martinez in at the 5.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kev,